In the back of his mind, he's aware that Cameron is half out of his own seatbelt, having been thrown sideways over the center console. Driven by what feels like pure reflex, Devon throws his arm across the coyote in the attempt to hold him back. Cameron's muzzle meets the bear's thick arm before his forearm smacks into the screen of the head unit. A numbing, tingling feeling explodes across his entire arm. Ah, fuck. They brings his arm to his chest, cradling it as he winces. Are you alright? Cameron's breathless voice next to him is enough to rescue Deb. That coyote isn't seriously injured. The airbags hadn't even deployed, even though the impact had felt serious. 何が起きたんだっけ? Yeah, my funny bone. What about you? Let me see your face. Devon tries to grab Cameron's muzzle to have a closer look at him. Sad to see is only the glow of the jeep's headlights, now dimmed from the swirling dust kicked up by the accident. 車でなんか事故が起きたんだね。But Cameron pulls away, opening his door to get out. Cameron the coyote yelps as he seems to lose his footing almost immediately and falls hard. Calm. Devon unbuckles his seatbelt and almost tries to climb out Cameron's side of the jeep. Then, realizing what he's doing, opens his own door to get out, almost falling himself as his feet touch uneven ground. どういう状況? Dust coats his mouth as he looks up the road, and immediately he can still see echo from here. He knew this was going to happen, that something was going to prevent them from getting out. 帰れなくなったんだ. He could feel it since he started driving. He just didn't expect Cameron to cause it. The jeep is tilted forward. The front wheels wedged into a deep trench covered out by years of floating along the edge of the road. Deb stumbles around the front of the jeep, squinting against the headlights before looking down where Cameron had fallen, but he only sees blackness. Cameron? サイレントヒルじみてきたね。ますます。帰りの道が塞がれるっていう。He starts to panic seriously, considering that the coyote could have fallen into a sinkhole by then. Over here. Dave looks back towards the road, the dust finally clearing, and sees that Cameron is already there, standing in the middle of it, looking around confused like he's lost something. What the fuck are you doing? Dave stumbles back around the jeep, just wanting to get the coyote back inside so he doesn't go running off somewhere. The bear already suspects that Cameron is having a mental breakdown, and if they don't get the hell out of here soon, Dave thinks he just might join him. I saw someone. Cameron, slow down. Let me see your face. It felt like it almost broke my arm. No, I know I did. Cameron ignores Dave's paws that are reaching out towards him and starts walking up the road, looking back and forth. Calm. The streets of what just happened, along with Cameron, barely 熊だけにね. Acknowledging his presence is too much. He grabs Cameron's arm, forcing him to turn fully around and face him. What the hell are you doing? Cameron flinches and raises his arms up, crossing one wrist over the other, covering his face like he thinks Dave is going to. Cameron, what? But the coyote just lowers his arms, looking around again. I saw something. Someone. It was like a little kid sitting on the road. Didn't you see them? 複数形なんだ。Devon wants to ask why Cameron acted like he was going to get hit, but the coyote is in such a clear distress, the bear isn't sure what to say. Then Cameron looks at the jeep as if thinking what he happened for the first time. Yeah, I didn't mean to crash your car. I swear I saw someone and I wouldn't do that on purpose. 人影が見えたんで、ハンドルを切って事故っちゃったんだね。そういう状況か。前回からちょっと数日経ってるんで忘れちゃいましたね、前回の内容。そういうか。なんか、モーテルで心霊現象を見て、それでもうこの街を出ようっていう話になって、ジープで出ようとしたら事故っちゃったっていうとこですね。Someone, 違う、Cameron's breath start to become erratic, gasping for air. Honey, come here. I can't breathe. Dave wraps his arms around the coyote, even as he starts to try and pull away. コヨーテは結構さ、繊細っていうか、心が弱ってるんで、今。いろいろあって。母親がドラッグ中毒で自殺してるからね、このコヨーテは。そういうこともあって、かなり神経質な面がありますと。このクマはクマで何かあったんじゃなかったかな。忘れだけど。Let's go. I need to go. Listen, Cameron. Breathe with me. Dave presses the side of Cameron's head to his chest and takes a deep breath. Remember? In and out slowly. Devon keeps his voice upbeat, his expression cheerful, the complete opposite of what he's actually feeling right now. 呼吸整えるの大事だからね。But showing how distressed he is clearly isn't helping the situation. So this breathing exercise is also for his benefit. なるほどね。これなんて言うんだっけ、こういうの。ちょっと全メータやつ。なんとかフルネス。マインドフルネスか。マインドフルネスってやつでね。宗教性を禅から取り除いたバージョンの瞑想。マインドフルネス。The last time they'd done this was a few years ago now. And just like last time, it seems to work. The coyote finding his gasping for minutes before his breathing becomes more steady, albeit a little shaky. They breathe in unison for a few minutes. The bear stroking Cameron's head like he had only half an hour ago in the motel room. Was it really only 2 hours ago that he'd been chilly at the thought of a paranormal investigation with his psychic boyfriend? Finally, Cameron pulls away gently. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. You said you thought you saw someone. I thought I did. I didn't mean to fuck up your car, though. Well, if you thought you saw someone, then I'm glad you did that. Considering how slow we were going, I'd rather the car run into the dirt than run over somebody. Now just hold still for a second so I can check you out. Your face burned into my arm pretty hard back there. Dave gently turns Cameron towards the headlights of the still running car, lightly running his front close through the fur. I thought it was an otter. Ottose? I could see the tail and everything. オッターって何？ちょっと調べていい？ハリーポッター？ハリーオッター。カワウソだ。カワウソは多分道路にはいないと思うんだけど。かわいいね、カワウソ。ラッコか？いや、カワウソだろ。シーオッターがラッコなんだね。オッターっていうのは陸上性なのかな？とにかくこういうやつですね。イタチみたいな。One of Devon's claws grazes over a small ramp under Cameron's fur on the bridge of his snout, and the coyote winces. Does that hurt? A little bit. I didn't even notice until just now. That's bubbly from my elbow. What about your arm? Are you sure it's alright? Cameron starts doing his own check of Devon's arm. Dude, my arm is fine. Oh. The bear yelps as Cameron rots right into a spot that is suddenly becoming very sore. 折れてんじゃない? Did that really hurt that much? Not really, just surprised me. Really? Yep. You see? Bending it without pain. Yeah, I believe you. Just be careful with it. Cameron sighs, looking back at the jeep. I'm going crazy. The relief Devon had felt after seeing Cameron returning to his usual shaky self-deflates at those words. What? No, you are not. You are already great, just we are both on edge right now. Well, it really did feel like I was losing my mind for a minute there. Thanks for helping me. Of course now, just gotta check out the damage. Yeah, the back wheels aren't even touching the guard. Well, I'll have a better look. Hang tight, babe. Alright. 保険会社呼ばないとね。実際の世界で事故ったら、まず保険会社呼んで、見てもらって、現場検証して、警察も来るのかな？現場検証してもらって、保険が下りるかどうかね、見てもらうんですね。デーボンスターツ、それからジフだっけ？ジャフなんだっけ？なんか呼んで、引っ張ってもらうんだよね。クレーン車で。Devon starts to analyze the status of his jeep, and he can tell right away that they aren't going anywhere. Both front wheels are almost buried in the sandy trenchy below, and both of the back wheels are definitely off the guard. The undercarriage balances on the road's edge. Still, Dev gets in, and after telling Cam to stand clear, very gently tries to back out. The bear winces at the scraping sounds from the metal undercarriage, realizing how desperate he gets to get out of here, considering how hopelessly stupid this attempt is. After realizing he's only spinning the wheels deeper into the dirt, he stops. The bear turns off the engine, sighing and pressing his head against the steering wheels. Sure, it sucked that his jeep is probably all fucked up now, but that doesn't matter. More than anything, he just wants to be out of Echo. He thinks back on how strange it is that Cameron immediately tried to convince him that he didn't do it on purpose. Devon didn't need to be convinced because he didn't even consider that was the case, but because of how he brought it up, Devon quickly shut that down, deciding that now isn't the time for shitty thoughts like that. Finally, the bear gets out, fixing a smile on his face again, so Cameron won't feel so bad. Alright, so... とりあえずモーテルに戻んないとじゃない？ Cameron? Dev looks around and, to his dismay, spots the coyote away up the road toward Echo again, though he's standing off to the side right next to the lake. He's looking over the edge, down on the water. Hey, Cameron, you alright? You crazy? The bear jogs up to the coyote, putting an arm around him. こういうなんか映画があったよね。なんか家に帰る途中で家族が不審者2人に襲われて、っていう話。なんだっけな、映画。忘れちゃったな。ディトアだったかな。ディトアっていう映画だったと思いましたね。こういう湖の近くでさ、ハイキングしてたら、違うな、こんな古い映画ではないんだよな。 これだったかな、忘れちゃったね。これだったかな。昔そういう映画が見たことがあって、結構最近だと思うんだけど、2020年ぐらいの映画だと思ったな。名前忘れちゃったんですけど、すごく面白かった覚えがある。忘れちゃった。Cameron finally turns to look at the bear. Ah, yeah, stay next to me, alright? I want you to be close after everything that's happened. I was just trying to stay out of the way. Are you looking for something? Dave looked over the edge at the murky water below. Almost immediately after, the bear instinctively pulls back, taking Cameron with him. Yeah, just thought that because the otters are good swimmers, that maybe Cameron lets out a fake laugh. Sorry, I'm crazy. Don't mind me. Come on, don't do that. Cameron goes quiet. Seeing just how unhappy Cameron is, the bear takes a deep breath, deciding to tell him. Back in the early millennials, an otter kid drowned in this lake. I wonder if maybe that's who you saw. この湖で昔死んだカワウソの子供がいるんだって、その幽霊なんじゃないかって。Really? でもさ、複数見たって言ってなかった？ Yeah, along with a few dozen other people over the last 70 years. I have a list of the lake and other places we were gonna go. So you're saying I saw that because I'm psychic? You don't seem very thrilled with the idea. I'm not thrilled with any of this anymore. It only reminds Dave that Cameron could see anything, terrible things, and that could lead to more mental anguish for his boyfriend. Anyway, we are stuck pretty badly. What do we do? いやでも霊能力あったらさ、いいよね。それで仕事できるし、一つの才能だよね。いいと思うんですけど。こうやってね、YouTube かどうかがなんか配信したりできるもんね。心霊配信。それはそれでいいことだと思うけどね。ポジティブに捉えていかないとね。What do we do? Don't worry. We got options. We don't wanna get to the highway, but it's a bit of walk. I think about 7 or 8 miles. これさ、マイルズがわかんないんだけどさ、ミーターに直してくれや。Change to English. こんなに ?1 マイルは1600メートルなんだって。1マイルは 1.6 キロ。相当だね。7マイルズが11キロ。あ、遠いね、11キロは。11点、1、10、100、そうだね、11.2 キロぐらい。遠いね、11.2 キロは。That might be a bit too much with it being dark and on a half-destroyed road. そうね。I think we should try to get a little bit of sleep, then start walking at that dune. We'll have light, and if we keep up a good pace, we'll get to the highway before it gets too hot and be able to flag down help. Cameron is quiet. So, what do you think? Remember why back when I asked what we do if there was an emergency? You said there was still cell services in parts of the town. Did I? Yeah, Dave. You know what I'm talking about. It makes way more sense to find cell service right next to us and call for help rather than walk 8 miles. 増えてる。I don't think it makes much sense at all, Cameron. We were looking for trouble, Devon. I think we'll be fine as long as I'm not trying to sit. But you just saw. It's silent for a few excruciating seconds. Oh, I just wanna get the fuck out of here and get you home. Cameron's ear twitched as Dave raises his voice, which seem to reverberate in the silence. But the coyote just goes to standing there, arms crossed like they almost always were. Yeah, psychic Koana, I'm unstable. We both know that already. No, but I'm not walking miles through scorpions and rattlesnake infested desert when our solution is right there. Dave, please, I have a bad feeling about this land. Sorry, who's the psychic here? Dave, I can do this. Trust me. We're outside where nothing is haunted. We won't be looking for anything, so I'm going. なんか珍しいね。これさ、だいたい心霊ものって室内でやるじゃないですか。展開されるもんです。お化けってなんか、あんま外にはいないイメージなんだよね。森とか廃墟とか、それちょっと視界の悪いところで、こう開けた場所で、お化け出るってちょっと珍しい気しますよね。サイレントヒルでさえ霧の中だしね、視界が悪い。ちょっと閉ざされた感じ。これ見晴らしのいい場所でお化けって、あんま出ない気がしますね。怖いのかな、それって。トンネルとかね、そういうところに出ますよね。まあ夜だよね、あと。キャメロン I prefer you came with me though. God damn it. Devon hurried to catch up with his boyfriend, sliding his paw into Cameron's and gripping it tightly. Cameron has a look on his face like he's a bit pleased with himself and Devon can't figure out why. It's like the coyote thinks he's winning some kind of game and Devon has to grit his teeth so he doesn't start an argument all over again. Just an hour ago, Cameron was sobbing after seeing and hearing terrible things and now he's walking back in the same direction like it's nothing. Maybe the coyote is more resilient than the bear had always thought. どうしたんだろうね。強がってんのかな。And maybe the bear is finding out how non-resilient himself is. 見慣れてるからね、コヨーテは、お化けを。His stomach grows loudly and when Cameron jokingly asks if he's hungry, Devon lies and says yes. まあ、お腹空いたらね、コヨーテを食べればいいから。肉食獣だからね。でも肉食獣は肉食獣食べないのか。大抵、ウサギとか、牛とか、草食のやつを食べるもんね。肉食獣の肉はまずいのかな。In reality, it's from anxiety, something he isn't used to feeling all that often. The bear only finds comfort in gripping Cameron's paw even tighter and promising himself that he won't let anything else but happen to them. 歩いてくんだね、仲良く。モーテルに帰ってきたね。Cameron presses up tightly against Devon's side, breathing in the comforting scent of his cologne. ここに電話を探しに来たの。Cam's show of confidence has mostly diminished at that point, especially as they are passing the motel. The coyote has to remind himself why it is that he insisted on doing this. When Dave had offered a perfectly reasonable, if slightly exhausting alternative. Being exhausted is preferable to PTSD. But Cameron could sense the bear beginning to treat him in a way that he didn't like, talking to him like he was fragile, like the slightest touch could tip him over where they shut on the asphalt. 確かにね。PTSD の克服方法は他のことで気を紛らわせることだからね。肉体的とか精神的に疲れてる方がいいんだよね。He wants to prove that he can deal with this, which is why he has to smirk at himself right now because he definitely wouldn't have made it this far if Dave weren't by his side. Right now, the bear has a steely grip on Cameron's paw, making it clear that he isn't letting go. Meanwhile, their free paws hold their phones, checking every now and then for a signal. ここだけは電波通るらしいね。って話してたね、さっき。Anything yet? 基地局がないとさ、ダメなんじゃない近くに。No, we get signal at the same time anyway. Well, I assume I'll get it first. Oh, because mine's not an Android? Yep. iPhone 使ってんのか。Only I had the brain of an engineer to figure out how to work one. Well, actually, maybe I should turn mine off and let you search for a signal. We should keep some battery life in one of our phones just in case. Oh yeah, good idea. Your battery will probably die before we found service anyway. Cameron turns his phone off while Deb looks on. I wouldn't worry too much about it, though. It's not like we are lost in the woods or something. And I feel like 3 people know where we were going. We are gonna be fine, no matter what, babe. Famous lost words, if I ever heard them, right up there with a here goes nothing, and I think too much. Took too much. Yeah, right. Our last words are gonna be, holy shit, we lived to 100. I'm pretty sure I've already screwed my chances that with all the drugs I did, along with eating fudge cakes for lunch whenever I'm at work. Fudge ってなんだかクリームかな。Seriously, come. Hey, it's in the vending machine right next to my cubicle. Well, we are changing that as soon as we get back. How are you gonna do that, aside from stalking me at work? I'll make your lunch. They're gonna have us start working from home on Monday, remember? I'll have plenty of time. Hell, I'd be surprised if they don't start making you work from home soon. We'll be like a co-workers. 二人ともオフィスワーカーなんだね。Fat chance. They don't give a shit about our health there. Well, we'll see. Either way, you'll be living to 100 plus 10, so you'll have plenty of time to think up your famous last words. Cameron has to wonder if their meandering conversation is purposeful on David's part, if only to distract him from what's across the road. Either way, the coyote is thankful for it. Only if you make it there with me. で、電波は取れたのかな？ About 15 minutes later, Cameron starts to become a bit more agitated. They're on a dirt road at this point, and every now and then they walk past crumbling structures of what used to be houses and trailers. わ、かなり寂れてんだ。といったところで今日は終わります。